Hey girls and boys, it's Mr. McAndrew, the math coach. Great to be with you as always. Very excited to continue our work with tens partners, right? Figuring out all those ways that 10 goes, you can like take 10 and break them apart, or take two different parts and make it into a 10, or you have 10, you take it away, right? So super important. So let's take out your Monday word problem. Okay, it says Monday word problem. Add or subtract. And let's take a look and see what it says. Okay? So once you have this out, please join me and I'll read it. If you need to stop the video to go get it, then please do that now. Alright, so it says Monday word problem. It says Sherry has 5 Skittles. You know what Skittles are, right? Those little tiny, yummy little pieces of candy. Okay. We've worked with butterflies before. This week we're going to work with candy, right? We'll spice it up a little bit. If her mom gives her 5 more Skittles, how many does she have? All right. So your job right now is to stop the video and solve the problem and write an equation or a number sentence that fits down here. And then when you're done with that, we will talk about it. Okay, so remember, you can use your Rekenrek, you could use your counters, you could just draw a picture, you've got a 10 frame here, and you've got a number path. All right, so solve that problem, please, and when that's done, please come back. All right, so if you are joining me now, that means you've already solved this. For some of you, it may have been like super quick, right? Because you're like, wait a second. These are 10th partners, right? Because look, 5 Skittles and 5 Skittles more gives me 10. So you might have just known the answer right away. But I do want you to show one way that you might have solved it. So here's a few ways that you might have done it. If you used your counters, which is totally fine, you could put out 5 Skittles, right? And then was it her mom gave her 5 more, right? Let me move my head over here. All right, gave her 5. So you might do 5 more in a different color. Maybe do it in yellow. And you'll see that you get 10, right? Or maybe you drew a picture. So, okay, I put a Skittle, a Skittle, a Skittle, a Skittle, a Skittle. That's 5. And then you drew 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see it fills up the 10 frame. You could have also done the number path, start at 5, and if you hop up 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you end up at 10. Okay? Awesome. Did anybody use the Rekenrek? Probably not, but it's a great tool, and we're going to be using it a lot this week, as I mentioned, okay? So you could have done 5 Skittles here. Ignore the top part right now. Okay, and then 5 more gives you a total of 10. You can see that there's 5 Skittles here and 5 here. Okay? And then our number sentence, of course, would just be 5 plus 5 more equals 10. Okay? All right, so let's move on here. So if you could take out your Rekenrek, okay, it looks just like this. All right, and make sure that all of them are over to the right. So you can slide them like this, right? So you slide it so they're all on this side. That's the right side. Okay? Now, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to cover up the top row because we're not going to be using that row. All right? So I'm just going to cover it with this eraser. So we don't even have to worry about it. Okay? And what's cool about the Rekenrek is there are 10 beads or counters right here on the bottom and the top, but we're just going to look at the bottom today. And what that does is it shows us our 10th partners. So right now, on this side of the Rekenrek, there's no counters. So that's 0. And over here, there's 10. So you can see that 0 and 10 more makes 10, right? 10 counters. Now let's all slide 1 counter over to the left. All right, so I want you to do that as well on your Rekenrek. If you don't have your Rekenrek yet, please grab that out of your materials and stop the video, and then when you're ready, you can continue. All right, so everyone should have 1 counter on this side And how many are on this side now if you put 1 over here? Well, let's take a look. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Because 1 and 9 are tens partners. You can also think of it as 10, take away 1, gives us 9. Right? 10 minus 1 is 9. Okay, let's slide another one. So now we've taken away 2. If we take 2 away from 10, we're left with how many? We're left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that makes sense because we know that 2 and 8 are tens partners. Remember our paper from the other week? All right, looks like this. So look, already we've identified 0 and 10, 1 and 9, and now we're doing 2 and 8. Makes 10. Okay? So you can see how addition and subtraction are connected, right? 2, right, plus 8 more, if I bring them together, makes 10. If I separate them, if I take away 2, I get 8. Or I could think of it as, if I take away 8, I get 2. So it's all very connected, okay? All right, so let's slide another one over, and you can see that there are 3 on this side, and how many on this side? Yeah, if there's 3 on this side, there have to be 7 on this side, because 7 and 3 make 10, right? Because there's 7. So 10 minus 3 is 7, and 7 plus 3, if I put them together, are 10. Okay? So 3 and 7 are partners, and we can see that here as well, 3 and 7. Just like we did last week with the counters. And then let's slide another one. And what are those tens partners? We have 4 and, getting easier to see, right? We have 4 and 6, right? And we slide another one. We see we have 5 and 5, right? 5 over here and 5 over here. Okay, 5 and 5 makes 10. Now if I slide another one, right, that's 6 and 4, which was the same as we had before with 4 and 6. So 4 and 6 and 6 and 4. Doesn't matter which way we do it. And before we had 3 and 7. Now we have 7 and 3. Right? And this all, we saw all of this last week with our paper. Remember this? 6 and 4, 7 and 3, 8 and 2, 9 and 1. See there? 8 and 2, and 9 and 1. Okay? All right, so today we are going to play a fun game. There's a video for you about how to play this that I do with my son, but I'll give you a quick preview and then you can watch it. All right, so boys and girls, you'll see in the video that I do with my son how to play the game, but basically you put a bunch of cards out, you take out all the face cards, which I'll explain to you. Face cards are like king, queen. We're not going to use those, okay? And what you're looking for are tens partners, right? So it's like the game of memory. We have to remember where they are. So this is a small little example. So what if I turned over this card? Ooh, it's an 8. So that counts as 1, because you can see there's 1 symbol on it. Oh, look at that. I got a 9. So if an ace is 1 and I turned over a 9, I just found tens partners because 9 and 1 go together. What I wanted to show you is if you're not sure, you can always count. Count the number that's the big ones that are in the middle. So look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so if you count all of the spades or diamonds or whatever they are in the middle, you can count them up. So if I get it, then I take it off and I keep looking. What about these two? A 6. I got another one, a 6 and a 4. Let's pretend I turned over this one. All right, so if I turn over those two, 6 and 8 are not tens partners. But how much is 6 and 8? Let's see if we can figure that out. All right, well, I know that 6 and 6 is 12, plus 2 more would give me 13, 14. And I can always count the symbols. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. But since they don't equal 10, I have to turn them over. But remember, that's a 6 and that's an 8. So if I turn this over, ooh, it's a 2. So I'm looking for, what am I looking for? I'm looking for an 8. I remember there's an 8 there. And if I count those up, 8 and 2 makes 10. So I got another pair of tens partners. And if I turn these over, yep, 6 and 4 is 10. And now I won the game. Okay, so the next video will show you better how to play the game. but I just wanted to point a few of those things out to you. All right, so have fun, play the game, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye-bye.